I might not want to get up at 5:30 every morning, well, twice a week at least, and go to this trainer for 6:30, but it's what's needed. And I feel great after it. I feel amazing after it. Hello, and welcome to the Authentic Wednesday podcast. Each week, my guest and I share our vulnerable behind-the-scenes stories of giving ourselves permission to take off our masks, let go of expectations, and embrace our own path of freedom and authentic connection. I am your host, Bianca Hughes, a lover of authenticity. Hello and welcome to the Authentic Wednesday podcast. It is your host, Bianca Hughes, and it is me on the podcast today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is episode 55 of the podcast, and as it is just me, it's going to be a quick, short one. Well, I always say that, and then it ends up into this long thing. Well, not too long, maybe about 15 minutes or so. So I don't want to keep you, but I do want to share, of course, a story, quick little story that happened to me recently, and how it's really kind of just shaped my mind and helped me get motivated, shall I say. So I was online listening to a sermon from my pastor, and as I was signing in, I heard them talk about fasting, and my thoughts was like, I just bought all this food. What do you mean we're fasting? Blah, blah, blah. Because I hadn't been there last week. So as they're sharing the fast, I'm like, oh, great. No meat, no sugar. What am I going to cook? All of these things are going in my mind. I'm like, I don't want to do this fast. I'm like, I'm not going to do this fast. I'm just going to do something else. I'm going to fast from whatever. Perhaps I was just thinking, I'll find a way. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll pray to God about it. And then I'll see what he wants me to do. And what is funny about that, it's probably about an hour before, I was like, I feel like I kind of want a bit more humility in my life. And to me, fasting is a way of humility. Fasting is a form of trusting God, and humility in the sense that I'm trusting the pastor and what he's saying and where God is leading us. So he's continuing to talk and preach and all that, my mind started going and changing, and yes, I was listening and looking at recipes and feeling more motivated and things like that. And then at the end, I remember saying to him, at the end, I was like, hey, can you just pray for me? Because I don't really want to do this fast. And then, he was praying about other things. And at the end, he said, Bianca, I didn't want to call this fast either. And he said something that really caught my attention. He said, but sometimes it's not about what we want to do, but what we need to do. And that really kind of set the tone and changed me. And I'm going to say why. There are some things that we do or I have done that wasn't about what I wanted, but it was what was really needed. For example, let's think about just basic everyday, right? Sometimes I don't want to get out of my bed, but it's needed, right? Food. I don't always want to eat the right food, but it's needed. And so those are like the everyday stuff. And then other things in my life, like I might not always want to go to therapy, but it's needed. I might not always want to write a note and paperwork for my therapy clients, but it's needed, right? It's not what I want to do, but it's what's needed. Fasting is one of those things that really have throughout my life changed me. They've helped me surrender. They've helped me let go of things that I've been holding on to. I have this challenge with sugar, which is my thing. And I've been able to reduce my sugar intake due to fasting. And to be honest, I talked or may have not shared here, but I have been going to been working out and have a trainer, shall I say, a bit more, which has been helpful because I just got tired of seeing that COVID gut. And so I might not want to get up at 5:30 every morning, well, twice a week at least, and go to this trainer for 6:30, but it's what's needed. And I feel great after it. I feel amazing after it. And so I want you to just think about that, like not about what you want to do, but what's needed for change, what's needed for growth. Most of the time, often what's needed is not always what we want to do. And sometimes it might not be what we want to do, but when we actually get down to doing it, we are so glad. So even after he said that, I was going back and forth about going down to the river and going for a walk because it's freezing here. But it just still stuck in my mind, I might not want to go by the river, but it's what I need. And so what I started to think about was, how good it is, how amazing it is. And that helped me to get up, motivated me to get up and go for a walk, right? And so as I'm walking, I'm just reminded, oh man, I really need this. I'm seeing people, I'm by the river, I'm, getting in all of the nature. So, again, to my point, it might not be what I wanted to do, but once I got up and got going, I was enjoying it. And I came home and I remember talking to someone and I was just like, you know what? I just feel so refreshed after going by that. And by the river. And I know that. I know every time I do that, I know that. But in those moments, I was really just focused on what I wanted. I wanted to share that with you guys because sometimes people ask about motivation. How do you do these things? And I just want to say that, everything I do is not because I always want to, but perhaps because I need to. And motivation is not about a feeling. We can't wait till we feel motivated to do something or wait till we want to. We have that feeling that we want to. Motivation is about a choice and it's about a mindset. It's about knowing that this thing is needed. One of the things that helped me be motivated is thinking about the benefits, thinking about the outcome. So for the walk, for instance, I think about how I'm going to feel after and how refreshed and the experience, right? Motivation is not about in that moment. It's generally about the outcome and the benefits. Sometimes I do research. So I made some changes in my diet, according to my trainer, taking out dairy, and now I'm increasing my water intake. And I'm like, okay, this is hard work drinking more water. Dairy was easy. Water was harder. But I looked up the benefits of drinking more water to help me, encourage me, and you can say motivate me to be like, okay, this is really what I need and what I want. But again, when I'm looking at the benefits of water, this is like the outcome. And so focusing on the outcome or the consequences is another way for us to get motivated. Like you really cannot think about how you feel in the moment, but you can think about, well, how would I feel once I've done this? I wanted to share that quick little story because that really set the tone for the day for me. And, probably the whole week, in the sense that now I'm just focusing on, okay, I don't want to do this. Asking myself the questions, what are the reasons I don't want to do this? Is it truly because this is not something I need to be doing? But if it is, then I have to switch it and be like, you know what, I may not want to do this, but this is what I need to do. These are going to be some of the benefits. These are going to be some of the outcomes. And, having that conversation with myself that I'm going to be so much more thankful once I get around to it. So let this sink in. Listen to this again if you need to. But the main thing I want you to take away, and I want you to remember, just like my pastor said to me, it's not about what you want to do, but about what you need to do. And note, I said need, not should, because should will create a sense of shame and there's not flexibility there. It's like something, I have to. But a need is different. It's like, I really need to do this because this is really going to make a difference, right? And so I just want you guys to think on that. Please tag me, email me, message me any way you can. Well, probably email. Or send me a DM on the Bianca Keisha Instagram. Just tag me on there and share the podcast. And Keisha, always let people know it's spelled Kesha. Thank you so, so much. If you connected with what you just heard, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. You can stay connected by following the Instagram Bianca Keisha, spelled Keisha KESHA, or visiting the website authenticwednesday.com. Remember, authenticity is a journey, not a destination.